Hi, it's Samantha from Soap Essential, and today I wanted to talk about what the difference is between moisturizing and hydrating, which both have similar aims, which is to increase the skin's hydration, but they do so in different ways. So when we think of our skin and care for our face, moisturizing and hydrating are very common terms, but they're just used interchangeably, and they refer to different aspects of skin care. So when we talk about hydration, right, we mean water content of the skin in the most upper layer of the epidermis. So epi meaning above, upon, beside, it's just a Latin derivative, and over the dermis, which is the middle layer of the skin. And our skin forms a water gradient. So I have a little whiteboard here. I just thought I'm going to just draw something really quick. So if this is our skin layer, let's say here, this is the epidermis, which the epidermis actually has several layers. Oh, it looks like you can't see that. Okay, several layers here. And then down in here is our dermis. And, we'll have like a hair cell might come up here. And you've got, some, your pores and stuff, but so what happens when you have this water gradient is this area here is like 70% water, and as it gets up here to the top, around here in a healthy hydrated person, you're looking at 20 to 30% water. I don't know if you can even really see that very well at all, but let's see if I can kind of show you what I've drawn here. 20 to 30% water. Once you get up here to this very top layer up here is called the stratum corneum. And so what happens is if that stratum corneum is not well hydrated, right, which means then the bottom part of the epidermis is also not well hydrated, your skin starts to appear dull, dry, flaky, and also what happens is its barrier function becomes impaired. So how do we hydrate the skin? Well, we do it in two ways. We do it extrinsically, which is outside sources, and intrinsically, which is inside sources. So extrinsically, it's when moisture is added to the skin from external sources, right? Cosmetic humectants that we might put on our face, humid environment, right? Your skin's going to draw water from that humid air, and then also just water. Intrinsic hydration, right, which is moisture that is naturally produced inside of the skin and inside of our bodies, and that is clearly affected by diet and water consumption. We'll talk more about that in a second. So the outer epidermal, right, that very top layer, is responsible for managing the skin's lipid barrier. So you have two things going on up there to help keep the skin hydrated. You've got the lipid barrier, and the skin also has its own natural moisturizing factor. In the aesthetic world, it's referred to as NMF. So the lipid barrier and the NMF, they're not the same thing, and they don't function in the same way. The lipid barrier contains lipid meaning fats. So fatty acids, ceramides, cholesterol, which cholesterol, by the way, is where vitamin D actually starts from. And then you have the natural moisturizing factor. So humectants that are amino acids, lactates, mineral salts, and other organic acids, right? They are all humectants, which are water attracting. So we describe the NMF as a hygroscopic because it's water attracting. And when it attracts water and to pull it into the skin. Interestingly, hyaluronic acid, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, is not part of the natural moisturizing factor. Hyaluronic acid is actually found deeper in the skin, down here in the dermis layer. If this part up here is the epidermis, this down here is the dermis. So that's where hyaluronic is found in the skin. So, and we talked about hyaluronic acid being a super powerhouse as a humectant, very water drawing or water attracting. So, so humectants, that's what they do, is they draw water and attract water to the skin to improve overall hydration levels. Now, the best way to hydrate, right, your skin is to just simply drink lots of water. You should aim for at least 100 ounces a day. And a diet rich in vegetables and fruit also has a lot of nice minerals, has a lot of ingredients that help with skin health too. So you should be eating plenty of vegetables and fruit. Now let's kind of move into what the lipid layer does. So now we're kind of talking about more the moisturizing factor. So to help the skin's lipid barrier function well as a protective layer, because its job really is to prevent transepidermal water loss, to prevent loss from the skin. And to do that, we use a moisturizer, right? We put a moisturizer cream, or maybe a moisturizing serum on our face. And what that does is it helps add lipids, right? It helps add lipids and aids in keeping that lipid barrier nice and healthy. And it also provides an occlusive layer. So an occlusive layer prevents water loss. And that's the whole goal with moisturizers, really, is to prevent water loss to the environment. And so that's basically the two differences in how they work, right? So you have your lipid layer, which is preventing water loss, and then you have your natural moisturizing factor, which is drawing water in. So in conclusion, moisturizing and hydrating are both critical for skin health, right? For healthy skin, for glowing skin, and they share the same aim in keeping the skin hydrated. They just do it differently. So the lipid layer, right, prevents, which we use a cream and a moisturizer for, is to help prevent water loss. And the natural moisturizing factor, right, which are humectants that we might put on our skin from a cosmetic, they help to attract water to the skin. And so that's basically the big and the tall of moisturizing versus hydrating. So today, I'm going to challenge you to drink 100 ounces of water today. That's my challenge for you. And if you do 128, which is a gallon, well, you're my hero. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.